Is it boring, guys? If it is, I'm sorry, I'm not Netflix. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Mansi On Record, and I hope you guys are doing really, really good. And I'm very, very excited to start this new series because it just helps me to, read, learn, and the best example I have always, seen myself learning is basically explaining things in a simpler way that I can possibly, can. But I welcome you all on this channel with, with my warm heart and wish you all the very best in 2026. And I hope you guys are doing fantastic things in 2026. So let's start this video. I hope you have seen the introductory video as mentioned. As promised, I'm here with interesting topics, and I'm sure you will be very interested to learn the way I learned, this. But let's start without any further ado. So, this topic is very, very interesting because it just made me realize to see in the history and then, see how things evolve throughout, centuries, eras, and, from one kingdom to another kingdom. And I was just trying to understand all those things because I'm a big sucker monuments and how one kingdom, affected the another. So this is kind of the whole background. So you will see um, correlation between all those things. So moving on, today's question is: does history repeat itself? Like, is it? I know, like you guys have literally heard this statement. Does history repeat itself? Really, it happens. Because if that would happen, then I don't think that we would be in the same generation that we are in. Because if we see our grandparents, they were the generation raised in Great Depression, and they used to deal with resources and how they were not impulsive buyers, but myself is an impulsive buyer at times. But I think that is very, very important. So this question we will try to unwrap it in this presentation. So let's understand, does this history really repeat itself? Because the statement that I said might have raised questions in your head that people say this line, but is it true or not? So moving on to the cycle of historical repetition happens on these six factors. I'm sure there are many other, but when I was reading about certain things, these are the things that I dialed it down. And first is, as I said, examining the interconnectedness. Like as I said, relationship between the kingdoms, relationship between the kings, how one kingdom affected the second, which all those things. So here we'll see actually how a relationship between events and behavior play a very big role in history repetition. The second one is identifying recurring patterns, because there are always patterns that are happening or that happened in the entire is our history, whether world history or Indian history or United States history. There are patterns that if we identify, then we'll see that okay, these were the things and how they were interconnected. And to actually identify those patterns, we have to see the interconnected dots. It's like making a puzzle. Third one is understanding influence, because this is very, very important, like how those past events affect our present and future. I think this is where the underlining is when people say history repeats itself. And why does that happen? Nobody knows. Either we are not learning or we don't know. But it's just a fun experiment. I just started indulging myself, and even I was shocked with my analysis. So the fourth point is gain insights, develop deeper understanding of human nature and civilization. Yes, as I said, every human is different, every person is different, every generation is different. Like as I said, our grandparents were the generation raised in Great Depression, so their understanding of resources is entirely different from ours and the upcoming generations. Moving to fifth point, that is navigating complexities. As we are very complex creatures and we have to understand that every situation has challenges, every event has challenges, and how do we navigate ourselves? Because if we see the great kingdoms that we learned at our schools or in histories, they I think they made sure whatever challenges they were having, they were able to overcome it. The sixth and the last one in the cycle of historical repetition, embrace system views, because every generation, every kingdom, every system, whether current government or the past government, has adopted a holistic perspective to learn from history and apply those things, and how those things will impact future, because that is the entire conversation is about. How do we you know impact our future? So core insight, and to answer the question, is history repeat itself? It does, because of the systems, and systems change, or systems bring changes due to the new ideas that have been implemented by new people, new generations, new leaders coming up. But system is the structural foundation that has been created uh, in the first place. Let's say we can bring law amendments, changes in the rule book, but I don't think so any government will try to write the entire rule book from the scratch, because we cannot forget the purpose and the essence of the system, why it was created. So to answer your question, yes, it does repeat, but in the favor of system survival, because we take so many learnings from his patterns that have been repeated in the history, and try to either do it to get better results. Yes, because sometimes people do the same things but never reach the same outcomes. So we try to learn from the history patterns and the behaviors of people that has been in the history, and see how those things will work in the system. But we have to also understand generations are changing. Now none of us are living like grandparents, up at 6 and sleep by 9, and care about resources, because I think day by day we are becoming impulsive. We want to consume quick learning. We People change, really do they? If you really like this video, please 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 hit the like button, share with somebody who wants to learn something new. um Subscribe to my channel, Dr. Mansi On Record. And if you like my professional side, then I'm sure you will also like my personal side, where I am just a big foodie. I like to travel. I like to explore things. That channel is called Dreams of Mansi. You can subscribe that channel as well. It's always nice to be learning and upgrading. And if you are somebody who likes to be well read, well learned, knowledgeable, and wiser, I think this is the place and that you will find interesting things in upcoming videos. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye.